could not seem to sing the praises without pain. Amazing to see what I.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? So, yo, we're going to do something new this time around. Be doing a horseshoe spread. It's going to be a 7-card draw, so we're going to get, a little bit in depth. We're going to be talking about the past. We're going to be talking about the present. We're going to be talking about hidden influences. We're going to be talking about obstacles. We're going to also be talking about the environment. And then following that, we're going to be talking about what should be done. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about the likely outcome should that recommendation be followed. All right. So I'm going to draw 7 cards back to back to back to back to back. Spread them out. Pause. Like a horseshoe spread. And, we're just going to get to it. You know what I mean? See how this goes. Now, as you've seen in the intro, I got a small website update. So I made it real simple. It's like a 5-click process to get you where you want to go. To see what's on the website. Just starting with the fundamentals. I guess you say. All right. Now I may cuss, but I don't curse. For those of you who are just seeing this for the first time, that's how I get down. I don't know what's gonna come out sometimes. Pause. All right. Let me see. I got any type of news or headlights? Nah, this is going to be a reading for the collective. You know what I'm saying? If it don't apply, please let it fly. If it's not your reading, don't force it. You know what I'm saying? And this could be for any sign. You know what I mean? I will be applying astrology here and there when I can. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? But how's everybody feeling, though? How's everybody feeling? I hope good. You know what I mean? I hope good. So I hope y'all ready to stick around for a little while. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm not really looking at the clock and all of that. Neither. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to get it done. Do a collective reading for tonight. I guess y'all will be seeing this by tonight. And, or whenever you get to see this, right? I'm going to cut the deck and get this thing started. Okay. The first card is, what's that? The 10 of Wands in reverse. That's card 1. Boom. Now, the next card is what? The second card is the Knight of Wands upright. Okay, moving right along. Third card is the Hierophant. Outstanding. The fourth card, the 5 of Pentacles, right? That is correct. The 5th card, the Tower in reverse. That is correct. The 6th card. This is fun already. It's new. I like new stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not nervous. I'm actually excited. So this is the 2 of Wands in reverse. Correct. And the 7th card of the spread is the 7 of Wands. Okay. Here we go. Let's get to it. So the first card is going to represent the past. The emotions, the actions, stuff that's relative to that. Alright, so regarding the past, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So it's telling me that in the past there was just too many things, too many hats that you were trying to wear is what I'm feeling. And you felt like you couldn't escape. You built your own prison, and you might have felt that you were doing it as like a dutiful purpose, something that that made you honorable, something that was noble. You know how people could do noble things, noble acts, so that they'll be upheld in society in high regard in some type of way. I don't know what type of recognition or status you were reaching for, but you did this work diligently in belief that you would obtain that type of status. What happened was you ended up taking on more responsibilities than you can actually handle. So whenever I see this card, really, it's like Saturn and Sagittarius don't mix up well. Reason being, and both of those emblems are on this card, right? And the reason being is this: Saturn is restricted when it has to be. So yeah, it's about hard work, it's about being diligent, Rob. But you got to be totally aware and conscious of when you can't deliver on what is expected of you. But when Sagittarius comes into the picture, that's where the picture gets big. And then the optimism that's involved with the person reaches a limit to where they start making offers based upon perhaps past achievements that they've done, definitely based upon their positive attitude. Yeah, you need that done? I can get that done for you. I'm going to get it done for you. Matter of fact, I'm going to get it done for you in 2 weeks. That's the optimistic attitude of the Sagittarius energy. But when they're in the same place, you keep doing that enough times. And you're not going to be able to miss a deadline, because when Saturn gets to Saturning, and I've just experienced Saturn getting to Saturning like in the past 2 days, and there's a restriction placed on what it is that you had plans for. And it's not really as personal as you may think it is. It's really a test. It's really to get you to reflect. You hear a lot of re's that deals with Saturn. Reflect, respond, retreat, refrain. You get what I'm saying? And Sagittarius energy is all on go. Go, go, go. Yeah, I can do it. Yes, yes, yes. Everything is yes. You know what I'm saying? So you see where the conflict resides. And that was the conflict that took place in the past. And I call it conflict because it's wand energy. And it's like when you're all fired up about something and you feel that you need to do it until exhaust, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work to your best benefit. Sure, you'll get a lot of things done, but you're trying to burn freely, right? Fire is like wild inside of a container, inside of a box. That's why when you see all of these things relative to Saturn, you see black boxes all over the world that represent Saturn. So why put fire in a box, right? So that's what we got to think about when it came to the past with who I'm reading for. It's just like you wanted to burn wild inside of a box, inside of a container, and you could burn out like that. That's the point. So in the present, let's find out what's happening now. It's still wand energy. It's still fiery. There's some snap decisions being made. The generosity still is there. But I get that you wrote it out. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But you wrote it out. You came out of that box. Pause. Hey, yo. But right? You did, though. Like on some real shit, you did. You came out on the horse. Hey, yo. You did it. All right? You got out of there. Put it that way. And you ended up linking with, or you are linking with energetic people who are passionate, people who share the same sentiment as you, fiery energy that want to make snap decisions. It's like, why wouldn't you if you've been held in a box for so long? It's like being in solitary confinement in prison and stuff like that. And I know everybody's watching and hasn't been there, but that's what the first card, that's what the past is kind of. If you got a whole lot of, kind of, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So just use that analogy for like someone that's finally getting out of prison. You know, you're going to be excited to do all of these types of new things. You know, some people be nervous and stuff like that, but others, you know, ready to hit the floor running and just catch up on old time, or so it's said. You know what I mean? And that's what this card reminds me of. But also coming out as a soldier, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, got your armor on and stuff like that. Like, you're ready. And you're ready to negotiate with people who are like-minded, and not for nothing, they want to be competitive. They're in the competitive spirit to say, okay, well, what are we getting into? You must have learned a lot of things from the past by piling all that work on yourself, because this is what I'm getting, right? I'm getting like, by wearing many hats, what it does is it allows you, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs do this, especially when they start their business, because who else is going to do it? you don't always have the capital to payroll everybody when you first start doing your thing, depending on your situation. You know what I'm saying? So in those instances, it's good and it's cool to wear all of those different hats. You get to learn the ins and outs of your whole business. So when you do train or you do delegate responsibilities to somebody else, not only do you know everything thoroughly, but you also can't get bamboozled when it comes to paying them and stuff like that, because when you're trying to like outsource, for instance, something that you are not knowledgeable about, those people, the contractors, they can take you for a ride based upon you not having the knowledge base that they have. You get what I'm saying? So they can overcharge you based upon that. Happens a lot. At least they try it a lot. And can you blame them? I mean, it is what it is, right? So, but you are rubbing shoulders with the competitors who realize that things are competitive, who realize that, you know, once you enter the monopolistic economy, you are by default a part of competition. That's how it is. That's exactly how it goes. So you may have that altruistic type of attitude that, oh, I'm not competing, I'm just doing my thing. Okay, cool. But guess what? The business world says you're competing regardless. And you're aware of that, and you're rubbing shoulders with people who are aware of that, and there may be some strategy on the at hand, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell that you are loving this energy that you are having and experiencing right now. That's a fact. But let's look at the hidden influence that you may not be aware of, and you know, unexpected types of things that can pop up that you're not aware of. You know, the stuff that you don't know of yet. You know what I mean? The mystery stuff, the mysterious stuff, which is cool. So we got the Hierophant. Right? And what this is telling me automatically, right, is that one should be prepared for, and this is you and your buddies, your colleagues, whoever you teamed up with. You know, like I said, you came out as the Knight of Wands, and you're negotiating with people who share the same type of energy, right? So that tells me that there's eventually going to be a group, a clan of some sort, you know, whatever you want to call yourselves, a faction, an institution. You could use the most professional words that you can come up with. But the point here is that what's hidden is that whatever you're doing, with it being so fiery, I'm coming up with the belief that it's going to be seen. You can't hide fire. You get what I'm saying? And with that being said, you got people like this who can be very shadowy. They got 1 foot in the shadows and 1 foot in the light. You know, they got 1 foot in the other world, in the spiritual world. They got 1 foot on the concrete in the 3D world. So not only are they going to have the capacity to study what's going on the ground, but they also going to have the capacity or the ability to consult spirit. You know, they're going to be able to do this, what's being done right now. So not only that, they're going to have minions. They got minions. They got a faction. They got an institution. So what that tells me is that with this being you gearing up with people who share the same sentiment and are ready to click up with you and do the thing that y'all are doing, that there's going to be a counter to that. And that's what you don't see. Now, it doesn't show what type of counter or what type of action is going to be taken, but the 5 does say there's going to be some action taken. And it's going to be taken utilizing the voice. This is a throat chakra card. Well, at least it won't be war, like physical, right? And not for nothing, it looks like y'all could get busy if it came down to that. But I don't want to start nothing, you know what I'm saying? Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I love peace. I love peace. And I'm keeping it a being with you. I do. But let's get back to this Hierophant card. It still could be a vocal war. As a matter of fact, what you see more of now is vocal wars and back and forth. If that person said this one, said that about this one, said this about that one, and you know, it's a lot of videos being uploaded online to show the war, and it's like, not for nothing, it actually does generate attention and therefore consequently generate money. So it is business at the same time. It is kind of, depending on who you are, it could be nasty, like gossipy and all that. Like, why everybody always talking about each other type shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get that. That's not what this is about. This is something more, I would even say, professional or more serious. Like, so whatever industry it's in, like if I was to use spirituality, I think it would be a good example, because this is the Hierophant card as well. So this could just be like other people in the spiritual business or in the spiritual realm, community, just rearing up and having something to say. And it might not even be direct. It might just be like a counter video that someone else pulls your code about, like, oh, you ain't see this video with this headline on it, da 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 da. It was similar to yours, and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, oh really? That was cute. You know what I mean? I'm just fishing and trying to find out something. The majority of the point that I'm trying to make is that it's going to be utilizing the throat. Pause. But it's going to be spoken. All right? Some type of either conflict or action taken, but it's going to be hidden. Not anymore, huh? I guess we just discussed it. So just have your eyes peeled for that, because it can come, just like I said, like somebody might pull your coat about it. Like, yo, I seen this, and you ain't been none the wiser. You ain't have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Now let's look at the obstacles, what's standing in your way from obtaining your desire. Let's see what's standing in your way, and that's the Five of Pentacles. You know what I feel? Because this card can go a couple of ways when this card is drawn. This is a card about poverty, unemployment, and, being stuck in a rut and just being, falling on hard times. But what I'm getting from this, right? I'm putting the pieces together. I'm following the storyline. We began talking about someone who wore several hats in an industry, a profession of some sort, therefore learned the business thoroughly from top to bottom. But they burned themselves out due to it. Came out of that in a better position, armored up as a soldier who knows the ins and outs of this thing, and starts to meet and greet with people who also know the ins and outs. They share the same attitudes, they share the same sentiment, they share the same values, and they're sharpening each other, and they're ready to gear up to go into the economy, into the industry, and do their thing, right? So the points that I just made with those first two cards is that this doesn't seem like a person who is not taking care of themselves. You can't wear many hats in a business, and you can't gear up and meet with people who share the same sentiment as you, that's based on a value system that derives from work ethic, and just have nothing and be poor and have anything at all. It's not making sense to me. And then for there to be some mysterious entities watching that, to the point where they want to engage in conflict, I would say more via competition, and speak on it, it gives opportunity for business. So like I said, people are having vocal wars online all of the time, and they're actually making money from it. I don't know, some of the stuff may be staged, I don't know, that's not my job. But if it is or if it isn't, for them to be making money by talking and no one's getting hurt, I'm just saying. So when this card is being brought up for the obstacles, this is what I'm gathering. I'm gathering that what you're doing is something that is either making money right now, or it appears like it's making money right now. And what's happening is people are wondering, like, how are people able to do this? I think it's something unorthodox, because, and I'm gonna bring this to light, right? I just got finished watching a video. It was on Facebook, One of my friends on Facebook posted it, right? And it was about people who are citizens of the United States of America. They rolled up to this place where they're housing and busing immigrants to. Broad daylight. And they're like protesting in the front. They got all kinds of police out there and everything. But they are going off. Like they're flipping. They screaming. They like, yo, y'all don't give a fuck about the people who were born, raised here. I work 40 hours a week and I can't even afford to stay here. But y'all are bringing people here and bringing more people here to stay here. How the fuck does that even make sense? It don't make sense. Make it make sense. Going off. You know what I'm saying? But you could hear in their voice. Remember, we talking about voice, and this is a voice chakra card as well. The Five of Pentacles. You could hear his voice rattle to how much pain and disgust was in it when he was saying these things, right? And of course, we could have our own opinions. We could do that right now, but we're not going to do that right now. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because that's what I feel is happening right now. Is that whatever you're doing does not look like you're getting sweaty doing it. It doesn't look like you're having a hard time doing it. You look like you make it look good. You look good and all kind of like, you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't look like you're breaking your back to get this done. You look like you're paid. You look like you're fed. You look like you're housed. You look like you're clothed. None of those issues. You look clean. So this is not you. This is not in your way. This is not in the way of someone who applied themselves at the level that these cards have already shown that you have. I'm sorry. There's too much determination and fire built up inside of the people that I'm speaking for right now. So this is the impoverished looking. And I don't know if they're like directing their energy directly towards you, but they can be directing their energy or disgust or disdain for people that are like you. People of your kind. What kind is that? Well, people who don't go to work, so to speak. So another thing that just popped up in my mind is that when Elon Musk, he did an interview, I forgot how long ago it was, but they asked him about going back to work, in the commercial in the commercial buildings. And he was tight. He was mad that people like stopped going back to the commercial buildings. This was post C word. You know what I mean? So he's pissed off when they asked him the question about that. He was like, "How dare people have the audacity to not go back to work when the people delivering the food, they gotta go to work. The people who are making the food, they gotta go to work. The people who are in these buildings." And it's just like, of course, a person who is making automobiles for a living is going to want to press the issue for people to come back to work. Because they got to go in his buildings. They got to, not only that, but they got to manufacture automobiles to get people around to buy them so that they can commute back and forth to work. The most, I think it was 60 or 65% of commuters utilizing vehicles commute back and forth to work. So when you do the numbers and you do the math to it, you understand why he set off like that. And that's what I'm meaning. Like there's going to be people like him, and he's well off, right? But it doesn't matter. It's going to be people like him who's going to look at his stocks go down because a kind of people won't go back into the commercial buildings to go back to work post C word. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of person, that kind of worker, that kind of entrepreneur is being perceived a particular way by a particular group of people. And this, not for nothing, this might even be the group that starts speaking about that. They might counter. It's like counterintelligence. They might make that an argument. It's a possibility. I'm not saying, or it could be someone, they could be people in your same industry too. But either or, it's a possibility. You know what I mean? But this is what this is. This is the obstacle of being able to communicate effectively. Like, yo, there's kind of like a low-key rebellion being done here. I don't necessarily know what side you're on, and I don't know if you can get off your side and get on to the other side, and I'm really not offering that, but you like, yo, I gotta do what I gotta do. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do, you know? It could be like a woke, not woke type thing, or doing what you gotta do, doing what you, but we were all here to do what we came to do. Something like that, the Oracle said in the Matrix, right? So that's what I'm getting from that card. Now, I want to describe the environment next. What's the environment like around you? The Tower in reverse. Yo, you know what? You see how I just... Look. How I describe this card, right, is as people from the outside looking in on people who are doing this new career. It could be like internet stars. All these internet stars coming out of nowhere. They becoming millionaires and shit like that. What the fuck do? They just online talking, running their mouth, talking shit. They don't work. That's not real work. That's the type of shit that you're up against. That's the obstacle, right? And then here, the environment is basically describing people who resist change. People who resist change. And by resisting change, what's happening is they're avoiding the inevitable. The inevitable is some type of collapse, yo. It's right here. I'm not just dreaming away because I'm fucking infatuated by it, although it might seem like I'm excited and shit, right? The reality of it is something is happening. It's happening right now. Right? So this is happening around you. It's happening around all of us. That's the environment. So it could include you, right? But based upon the reading, it's not. Why is it not? Because you was doing the work from the beginning, from the past. Look at you in the past. Look at you go. An insane amount of work. It's like it was like that's some Noah's Ark shit right there. It looked like he was building a fucking ark over here. Alright? It looked like preparation to me. And then you come out as a soldier. Let's get to it. Where it's at? Show me where it's at. Point me to it. We got some work ethic behind us. We tired of... Because look, when you come out of the Ten of Wands reverse and you come out as the Knight of Wands, this means work smarter, not harder. You done learned all of that shit. You learned what work harder for and not getting where you supposed to be based upon the energy you expended. You know what that's about when you come out like this. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not the one that's resisting change, is my point. You're not the one who's avoiding the inevitable collapse of something, some people, somewhere, some places, some economies, some industries. It's gonna happen. I feel like it's happening right now, but you're not the one. It's the obstacles. The people who are the obstacles, and this is not to slight the poor. This is not to throw shots at the poor. The poor, from what I'm getting from this reading, are only impoverished because they don't want to change. They don't want to change their situation, and they think that holding on to the ways of old is the way of getting her done, because that's how it was always getting her done. But that C word was the wake up call. That was the bang. That was it right there. That was like to slap everybody awake, like, yo, 2020 vision, supposed to wake up at that very moment. And you was on it. You knew you might not be able to go back into the building. You knew you might have to set up an area in your home to make something pop. Yes, it could be risky. It could be scary because you got to put on 10 hats because you got to make some type of money to stay alive, right? To survive. You might have to pay yourself. You got to pay yourself salary now. So everything is like, you know what I mean? It's different. It's just a different world. Whether you got long bread or not, it's just a different world. It truly is, though. And this tower is forcing people to become individuals and follow the path of number 7 for themselves, to go within, get in a spiritual vibe, search themselves out thoroughly, develop a knowledge base. This is an I know chakra card. take action with that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's the environment right now. It's shaky. It's shaky. So I ain't gonna drag it too much. I had to say that though. I had to make that clear. But this is what should be done. This is what should be done about it. Which is the Two of Wands in reverse, by the way. More fire energy. Again, I'm picking up on, okay, 7 and 2 is 9. Well, 7 and a 2 is going to bring 9, right? It's going to bring a completion, an end to people being afraid to make a change. People being afraid to be decisive to make a change. Because what happens when people are afraid to make changes, they limit their opportunities. So what this is telling me is that the people who, if you want a lack of activity, if you want to limit your options, then you be afraid to make decisions. If you don't, if you want to expand your options, expand your opportunities, if you want to change and be interchangeable, take action, then you do that. Then you do that. Because we already, it's pretty much laid out what the outcome's going to be, should you not. And we got the outcome card right here. I'm going to just draw it now because it doesn't even make no sense to draw out what should be done. What should be done is not resisting change, being able to embrace change and make the decisions that's necessary to do that, to offer you opportunities. It's a very fiery reading. So if you got fire in your charts out there, you're probably feeling this. I know I do. So this is resonating with me. But look, this is the outcome, or the most likely outcome, if, you know, assuming that the advice is taken in the previous card about decisions and not having the fear of changing. You're going to have to stand up for what you believe in. You're going to have to stand your ground. So it's just like in any rebellion. I mean, you could research rebellions and look them up. There haven't, well, yeah, sure, there have been rebellions in the U.S. since I've been alive, but I don't think they've been the type that is underway. I'm just keeping it a bean. I think they're more like reactions or responses to injustices, but not a true rebellion, if you know what I mean. If you think I'm bullshit, just go research rebellions and find out what rebellions are really about. But this time around, you're going to really have to stand up for what you believe in. And this doesn't have to be as conflicting as it looks. That's the Seven of Wands, right? It looks very conflicting. But if we do the 7 and the 2 from the previous cards and we come to a completion with the number 9, I usually reset my numbers after I come to a number 9. Pause. So it goes right back to the 7, to where it's like you've got to be that fiery person that goes within all the guts, and it's like no guts, no glory type shit. But the most you have to do really is just, you could take the high road every time and come out on top. Pause. Every time. Because it's going to be about maintaining control. Wherever you're positioned at, that is also going to have a lot to do with it, about standing your ground. So if you think, like, I'll give you an example. If the crime rate is high in the area that you reside in, and you're like, man, I'm up and I'm uprooting myself because of that. Well, again, are you going to be, is that decision being made out of fear? Because you're fearful of making the change of, what if you make good money if you work from home, but the crime is not so good there? I mean, it's something to think about. And I'm not saying that this is some life advice that I'm talking about right here. I'm just giving you an example to think about. Because I've seen other people do it. I've seen people from other cultures do it. You know, they reroute. They go to places where the rent is dirt cheap. And they, next thing you know, they buying houses over there. They doing fixer-uppers. And they flip the whole community around. And then they buy the community. And you're like, whoa. Like, some people actually watched another group of people do that. It takes courage. It takes standing your ground in order to do something like that. And again, this is not a direct message or directive to tell you to do that. You know, you might have to get up and go, because part of standing your ground is to actually travel and go to a better place to spread your message or do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You make it fit the way it's supposed to fit. Pause. But the main thing is to be protective and to be defensive. So if you think about, if people are moving you out or trying to move you out or trying to move on where you are using intimidating tactics, or maybe just out of an impoverished mindset, like they want to shit in front of your doorstep every morning, because I know it just sound wild, right? But they might just throw shit at your door, you know what I'm saying? So they can run away customers and shit like that. Maybe you're going to be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going nowhere. I'll come out this motherfucker every morning with hot buckets of bleach and do whatever the fuck I gotta do. I'll hire a sanitation person or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because this is why I'm saying this. Because you came out of a hard study, pause, in the past. You got it. You're equipped with the work ethic. You got it. And you came out and you buddied up with people like this. So, look, there's two ways that it could go. Like I said, people like this do like to get up and go travel too. This is one energy, could travel pretty quick too. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But if the outcome recommended, if you take this recommendation of action, is to stand up for your belief and to be protective and defensive, I'm pretty sure that people like this are going to help you protect what you got and defend what you got. I mean, look at them. Look at them. Because this is going to be a territorial thing. So I'm going to tell you this right now. If you think you got to relocate, do it. And make it based solely on territory. Because that's the outcome here. It's going to be a territorial thing. All right, but just know that you can do it. This is a I can chakra. This is about taking action, and this is about shining too. You're not going to be able to like silence yourself. You're not going to be able to shrink yourself. Well, the outcome, you're not going to be small. Whole bunch of pauses I just skipped over, but you get what I'm saying. You're not going to be able to hide yourself. They will know who you are. So, I'm not even going to drag it out too much. I actually have more energy than I did when I started this video. But I do got some things I got to get to right at the immediate time. I should be done in a little while. Not that y'all even need to know that part, right? But I'm just telling you anyway. You know what I mean? I fucks with y'all. So, yo, look. Hope y'all enjoyed that reading. It's a new style of reading. Yes, it's longer. Pause. Yes, it's more in depth. Pause again. But I feel it was kind of dope. What you think? You know what I'm saying? That's the horseshoe spread. So with that being said, I got mad love for y'all. Thanks a lot for everybody that's tuning in, new subscribers that came through. Got mad love for y'all. Y'all show mad love. The shares, the likes, the comments, all of that. You know what I mean? Like, make a motherfucker feel good and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yo, with that being said, I'm out of here.